Wuthering was finally revealed their most awaited collab that they are going to happen very soon, and that is none other than the Cyberpunk. Yes, since the first anniversary live stream, they haven't even give us like any of those credible news that when they are going to having this kind of collab. But people of the Wuthering community were very much expecting them to be release this kind of collab in a second anniversary. But after the end of a second anniversary live stream, there was not even a single hint about the collab. People of Wuthering Waves community after that decision was very much of a disappointed. Aside from the rewards, which I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I already have a several videos that how many rewards and is it actually good or not, that I already make my comment very much of a clear. Anyway, the main thing about the thing is that they already announced that what kind of character they are going to have in this collab, especially from the anime version, because that's the thing they are collaborating with, not the game version. So Lucia, David, and also another girl you are going to have in this collab banners. And Lucia is going to be the limited, you have to pull for her. David also will be the limited, which you have to pull for him. And another girl character, her name is Rebecca, I guess, I cannot even recall her name, but she is going to be the giving us a free version. These three characters are going to be 5 stars, and people are actually very much of a hype about it. That's not the main thing. The main thing is that there is a very much of a common between the Cyberpunk and also Wuthering. Why am I saying this? Because those two games have a very much of a disastrous launch. Yes, when the Cyberpunk was released in back in 2021 or late 2020, the game was having a very much of a disastrous launch after the 7 years of development, because in the 2013 when the game was teased the red trailer, is people were very much of expecting that we are going to have another competitor from the GTA games, and that company from the Cyberpunk was none other than the CDK project. And CDK project is a very much of a well known from their Witcher game series. You already know that how much of a well established RPG game Witcher has been for a long time, and people were very much of expecting them to be doing good in this kind of particular field. But the game was delayed. But when the game was released in 2020, the game was totally shattered the expectation from the player base. And when the player base trying to play the game with their console was also having a very much of a bad time. Getting a 30 fps was a dream for a Cyberpunk, and also in a PC version there was so many bugs. You cannot even play this game properly. Within a 20 minutes, 10 minutes, the game was crashing all over again, and the performance issue was totally just beating around the bush. So Wuthering is also having this kind of issue when the game was launched. Even to this day, the graphical improvement is very much of an rumors in Wuthering for a gacha game, as also free games. The game quality is actually AAA titles, types of things. But when it comes to the optimization, the game is actually very bad. If you are one of those guys who does not even have a good amount of PC or good amount of graphic card, I guess it is actually very much of a hard for you to play this game properly. As you can see that in my screen, my graphics is not even that of a high quality. My grass is already removed because I already applied so many patches and so many low config modes to play this game properly or smoothly. So even to this day, in every live stream or every patches, the developer already confirmed to us that they are going to fix this game, and also they are going to make this game much more playable for each and every round of player who does not even have a good amount of PC. I guess they already did it for the mobile devices, because in the mobile devices they already provided some kind of like an extra new frame generation, which you cannot even have it in PC. PC already have a FSR DLSS, but mobile version does not even have that. So they already provided this kind of things there, because they already know that how much of a mobile market has been established since the Genshin release, or since the PUBG games types of release. So there was kind of like a big market that they were missing right now, but I guess they want to grab that attention. But for a PC version, it is not even that much of a good one. All they provided is just a total of resource management, where if you already completed the task and story, you can even just delete the past story file, which is actually very much helpful for your SSD clearance. Anyway, that's not the main thing about this video. Today I'm going to talk about Zani. Yes, she was our former anniversary character in our first anniversary. When she was released, she does have kind of like a very much of a controversy to the release of a second anniversary character. Before few months ago, there was kind of like a commotion happening with the Zani man, also with a certain YouTuber. Certain YouTubers already provided a kind of like a confirmation about the Zani, that if you just somehow happen to have a Zani in your account currently in this kind of situation, your account is going to be the brick one. His comment was kind of like true, but not even true. What he trying to implement is that if you don't even have a Zani's best in slot teammate, and also don't even have a Zani's best in slot signature weapons with the respective signature weapon, I guess you are not going to dish out as much as the damage what the Zani should be. So there was kind of like a commotion was happening that if you just somehow happen to have her with the best in slot teammate, even with the best in slot signature weapon, there is kind of like a restricted playstyle, which is a quick swap. If you just somehow not even able to do that, you cannot even clear the endgame mode. So that kind of things, kind of like a rift between the communities, especially with the Zani mains, who actually play Zani with the each and every endgame mode what the Wuthering throws at you or throws at them. So that's the things they're already trying to prove them how much of a wrong his comment has been. So they're just making kind of like a several videos on their channel and saying that we can even clear with the Zani with the recent content. Being a 1 year able characters, you can totally do that. You do have a skill issue. You already know that how the Wutheringers work. When certain people cannot even play a certain character, certain community are going to bash you that you don't even have a good or certain amount of skills. Yes, to this day Zani does have kind of like a restriction. If you don't even have a Phoebe, which is the main resource, or you can say the main fuel of her Zani, because Zani's playstyle is totally revolved around the Spectre Fragile and also heavy attack. If you don't even have a Spectre Fragile character, which is only the Phoebe is the only character that you can even have into this game, another character who can even apply a Spectre Fragile buff is none other than our Spectre Rover, but that Spectre Rover is not going to be the efficient what the Phoebe has been doing for Zani for a long time. So Zani has been a very much of a controversial character, and also she does require a high amount of investment. If you do have a good amount of like a S1, S2, S3 types of constellation, you can even just totally do fine. Now in this video I'm going to see that is she even worth it or not, because I have been using her since the day one when I got her in from the debut banner in the first anniversary. I have been using her with the best in slot teammates, because Phoebe, I also have a Phoebe. I was very much of a lucky to get the Phoebe weapon with the 3 pulls, and even to this day Zani is actually good, but I did not even use her into this current Tower of Adversity and also into the current of a Whimpering West, but she's actually crack when I really used her. So let's see is she even performing after 1 year later or not. So for these test cases I'm gonna use the Tower of Adversity, which is the most reliable place to test your DPS character, because this is the endgame mode, and if your character cannot even do perform well in an endgame mode, I guess your character does not even hold any kind of value for your account. So for that team that I'm going to use, so this is the Zani team, or you can say that this is the best in slot Zani team, where each and every other character does have their signature weapon, only the Shorekeeper does not even have that. And why this is the best in slot teammate, because if you don't even have a Phoebe on your Zani team, Zani is going to be the dog shit to the core. Even if you just try to use your Zani with the standard 5-star weapon, your Zani is also going to be the dog shit. So why the controversy was happening, just having the Zani signature weapon and also having a best in slot teammate, which is the Phoebe's signature weapon, and also the Shorekeeper, which you can even have if you just a relatively new player. So these 3 characters are going to be required in a single teams, and having their also signature weapon make their teams much more cost heavier. So another F2B option that the Spectre Fragile could ever give you, which is a Spectre Rover, but that Spectre Rover was not even that of a good options for a Zani. You can consider as an alternate, but that alternate was not even the best one. So Phoebe was the must, and what the Phoebe does, Phoebe always gives the Zani what she really requires, which is a Spectre Fragile's meter. If your Spectre Fragile meter does not even fulfill enough, then I guess your Zani cannot even do the heavy attacks much more consistently. And also Phoebe can also reduce the defense from the enemy's Spectre, which can be able to happen if you have a Phoebe's signature weapon, which is the another costing part that you have to reconsider yourself. And also Zani ultimate will be very much of a 100% uptime if you just somehow have Phoebe on your team. So that's the team which I'm going to use, and also test that team is actually holding any kind of value to this current meta, and the controversy which was happening between a certain YouTubers with the Zani's main, is it even valid or not? Let's see. So the rotation is actually pretty much simple, where you have to just switch over to your Shorekeeper and use your skill attack, normal attack, and also passive attack. You have to do that these kind of things until another intro character's buff showing up on your skills, and when the intro buff showing up, all you have to just switch over to your Phoebe and do the actual Spectro, or you can say the passive attacks. And when the passive attacks has been done, you have to wait for another intro attack to come over to the Zani, and when the Zani's intro attack is going to be the happen, your Zani is going to enable with her ultimate and also do the heavy attack, or you can say the normal attacks. Why it is actually happening, why this kind of rotation is actually very much needed, because if you just somehow don't even use your Phoebe before deploying the Zani, then I guess your Zani cannot even get the defense rate. That's the thing, because Phoebe's intro and also outro can give you a defense rate from your towards your enemies, where your enemy can even take the higher amount of damage what the Zani is going to do. Anyway, if I just give you a little bit of a demonstration, I guess it is very much of a clear for you that how the playstyle is actually happening. Playstyle is actually very much of simple. Anyway, let's start. So we are going to switch over to the shopkeeper as far as the instructions, and also until another character's intro, which is the Phoebe, and see that Phoebe is going to be having her, yes, here we go, hold your skill attack and deploy her ultimate right away. Phoebe does have kind of like a unique skills where she can even just total time stops, as you can see that, but that is only limited for a certain areas of characters. It's not going to happen for each and every characters. Use your Zani Showcase. Zani Showcase can give you a heavy attack, which is the main damage resource what the Zani really requires. If these two bosses are in the same pace, I guess it is going to be actually helpful for me to do the actual damage. You see that how much of a fast the Zani has been clearing into this game mode. I have to do the dodge because yes, switch over to the Phoebe and also deploy her ultimate as well as normal basic attack, charge attack, and also switch over to the Zani again. Let's see, 49k with just her ultimate. You see that I just totally give her a counter attack, which is the another important skill part that the YouTubers were saying that if you don't even do that properly, I guess it is actually hard for you to do the actual proper damage with the Zani. Okay, here we go, Shopkeeper's ultimate, which can give you a crit damage buff. She is actually very much a good character since the launch. Even right now, she does have a competitor, which is none other than, what's her name again? Morny, yes. But in my opinion, Morny gives higher amount of value compared to what the shopkeeper can give you. Well, Morny is a new character. New character always going to be the better than the old characters. You see that I just missed some of my counter attacks, but I guess it is not going to be that much of a hurtful. You see that how much of a fast it was. And people are saying that she's actually dog shit. I don't know. So from the clear, I guess you already get an idea that how much of a Zani even still to this day being relevant, and after 1 year later she was our former anniversary character. But the team showcase that I already been showing you, it is actually only consists of a premium team if you do have their signature weapon, respective signature weapon, and if you don't even have that, I guess the run would be pretty much of a different case. So the confirmation, or you can say the clarification between the Zani and also certain YouTuber was kind of right into their point of view, but it is actually not even that of a matter. If you do have a skill, you can even just totally clear with the culture. So that's a totally simple thing what the Wuthering has been given to you. But yes, this is a gacha game. There has been very much of a power creep, and if I just compare with the Hyuki, which is our new anniversary character, into the second anniversary version, of course she is going to be the better version. Each and every new character are going to be the better. Just as I already give an example of how much of a shopkeeper has been dethroned by the Morny, but still shopkeeper can give you higher amount of value because she can give you crit and crit damage, but the Morny can give you much more than, which is a one-shot registers, healing things, and also all types of damage bonus, which is the main thing for a damage dealer. Anyway, I'm not here to justify my own opinions. I'm just totally giving you that I'm not even one of those like skill-based player in Wuthering. As you can see that the rotation that I did, there was so many mistakes, especially I already missed so many counters with her. But the quick swap that the community were talking about, I guess it is not even that of a heavily reliant on a quick swap. If you just somehow play with her only a normal rotation, which I already played in here, I guess you don't even have to worry about it without having the clear with the end game mode. Just play the game and enjoy it while it lasts. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you have any kind of question regarding the Zani and also my own opinion, you can even feel free to share on a comment section, and see you on the next video. Peace.